Breaking news! An unexpected twist has just shaken up the Ravens' preseason plans, and it's not just another coaching staff rumor. No, it's something deeper. A strategic move slipped through Baltimore's fingers, one the front office was clearly betting on, and now everything could change. Behind the scenes, a power shift is happening that could define the entire trajectory of the 2026 season. And the real story? It's not what most fans think. But before we dive into that, don't forget to like this post if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you want, comment, "Go Ravens," in the chat to show you're cheering. Let's get into it. Just hours ago, Joe Brady, long considered one of the most likely candidates to become the Ravens' next offensive coordinator, was officially hired as the new head coach of the Buffalo Bills. That decision didn't just affect the AFC East. It sent shockwaves through the Ravens' own coaching plans, because make no mistake, Brady wasn't just a name on a list. He was arguably the guy Baltimore wanted to lead its offense in 2026. In fact, Brady's second interview with the Ravens had already been scheduled. It was set for Thursday morning, just one day after the team reportedly finalized its decision to make Jesse Minter the new head coach. Baltimore didn't announce Minter's hiring right away, and now we know why. They were holding off to see if they could land Brady as their OC. The level of interest was real, and the front office was ready to make a move if that interview went well. But now he's gone, and the Ravens' options are narrowing. This changes everything. Jesse Minter, stepping in as a first-time head coach, is already walking a tightrope. He's also expected to call plays on the defensive side, just like Ben Johnson plans to do in Detroit. That means whoever Minter brings in as offensive coordinator won't just be designing game plans. They'll need to operate with a level of independence and experience to manage the entire offensive unit. Baltimore can't afford to have inexperience at every top coaching position. And this is where the debate heats up. With Joe Brady off the table, Cliff Kingsbury might now be the most logical and controversial option remaining. Unlike the younger and proven candidates, Kingsbury has NFL play-calling experience, and his track record, though inconsistent, does include multiple top 10 offensive finishes when paired with a healthy quarterback. Is his ceiling higher? Possibly. Is his floor lower? Definitely. But for a Ravens team that has legitimate Super Bowl potential, the margin for error is razor thin. Can they afford to gamble on a rookie play caller? Baltimore has also interviewed 3 other offensive minds, Davis Webb, Alex Van Pelt's assistant Zach Hill, presumably, and the more intriguing names, Shea Tierney and Declan Doyle. Of those, Declan Doyle might have the most momentum right now. The Ravens just put in an official request to interview him, and what makes Doyle intriguing is his experience learning under Sean Payton and Ben Johnson. That's a unique combo of old school and cutting-edge offensive philosophy. He hasn't called plays yet, but the pedigree is there. Then there's Andrew Schallhaus. He's part of the Sean McVay coaching tree, has logged several head coaching interviews this cycle, and brings a system-oriented approach that many see as future-forward. But again, the red flag is experience. Is it worth the risk to roll the dice on a coach with no NFL play calling under his belt? And where does that leave Davis Webb? Let's be honest, of the 3 young names, Webb might be the least exciting option. There's little buzz and less upside. If the Ravens are serious about making a Super Bowl push next season, it's hard to envision Webb leading the offense with conviction and creativity. This is why the Kingsbury option keeps coming back into the spotlight. For all his flaws, the guy knows how to run an NFL offense. He's done it before. And if Minter is going to be consumed with the defense, Baltimore might need someone like Cliff who can be trusted to build and manage a top-tier attack without training wheels. But even that isn't a slam dunk. Kingsbury's past offenses often lack balance, lean too heavily on quarterback heroics, and stalled when facing high-level defenses. He's far from a sure thing. The real question Baltimore now faces is this: should the Ravens bet on the upside and modern vision of a guy like Declan Doyle or Schallhaus, or should they play it safe and grab the proven experience of Kingsbury? The stakes couldn't be higher. Jesse Minter's first year as head coach will set the tone for this next era of Ravens football, and the choice of offensive coordinator is absolutely central to that. This isn't just about scheme or play design. It's about leadership, vision, and stability. And right now, Minter is facing a classic dilemma: hire for innovation or hire for experience. Let's talk about why this decision is so complicated. On one hand, hiring someone like Declan Doyle could signal the beginning of a long-term offensive identity shift in Baltimore. Doyle's background under Sean Payton and Ben Johnson gives him a unique lens on how to build offensive success around the quarterback. And with Lamar Jackson entering his prime, the window to win is wide open, but it won't stay that way forever. If you hit on a young OC now, you could be setting the foundation for multiple playoff runs, possibly even a dynasty-like stretch. But the risk? He's never called plays in the NFL. That's not a small detail. It's everything when you're talking about being the architect of an offense that includes Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers, and a ground game that's expected to remain elite. Play calling isn't just about X's and O's. It's about instincts, adjustments, and knowing when to dial up a kill shot. Do you trust someone learning that on the job with a Super Bowl caliber roster? Andrew Schallhaus has a similar profile. He's already getting serious attention across the league as a future head coach, and his experience under Sean McVay is no joke. That coaching tree has produced some of the brightest minds in the league today. He's known for his detailed preparation, aggressive mindset, and ability to maximize quarterback performance. He could be a perfect match for Lamar's skill set, particularly in creating motion-heavy, play-action concepts that put defenses on their heels. But again, no NFL play-calling experience. And then there's Cliff Kingsbury. Say what you want about his head coaching tenure in Arizona, but when his offense was healthy, it worked. His best years saw him craft explosive game plans built around spacing, tempo, and quarterback mobility, things that align well with Baltimore's current personnel. His offenses finished top 10 in total yards when Kyler Murray was healthy, and he's had success working with a variety of skill sets, from Mahomes in college to Murray in the pros. Yes, he's had his share of downs. His teams often faltered in the second half of seasons. His red zone schemes were criticized, and at times, he relied too heavily on improvisation from the quarterback rather than structure. But those flaws might actually be minimized if his only job is to run the offense, not manage the entire team. And here's where it gets interesting. Kingsbury could bring an instant sense of security for Minter, while Jesse focuses on installing his defensive vision, building a new locker room culture, and handling game management. Cliff could fully own the offense. That division of responsibility could be the most stable option in a season where expectations will be sky high. Remember, this Ravens team isn't rebuilding. It's reloading. Lamar Jackson just won his second MVP. The defense, even with upcoming personnel questions, remains elite. The offense has young stars, a veteran O-line, and a system that's close to breaking through. Baltimore doesn't have time for a learning curve. That's what makes this decision so pivotal. Now add in one more wrinkle: timing. The longer this decision stretches out, the more it could impact the Ravens' ability to lock in free agents, build continuity, and prepare for the draft. Offensive players want to know who they'll be playing under. Quarterbacks want to start installing language and terminology. You can't wait until March to make this move. The clock is ticking, and the pressure is mounting. So what will the Ravens do? Will they trust Jesse Minter to lead a fully first-time coaching staff and gamble on upside? Or will they anchor the offensive side with a proven, if imperfect, veteran mind? Either way, this decision will define the 2026 season, and it could make the difference between a deep playoff run and a painful what-if. Let me know in the comments, who do you want to see as the next Ravens offensive coordinator? Is Cliff Kingsbury the right call? Or should Baltimore roll the dice on a rising star like Declan Doyle or Andrew Schallhaus? And of course, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, smash that like button if you haven't already, and check out the videos we've got coming up next. We've got breakdowns on the Ravens draft strategy, cap space outlook, and everything you need to stay locked in this offseason. See you in the next video. It's moments like this that separate contenders from champions. Baltimore is staring down a crossroads that will have ripple effects far beyond the next season. With Jesse Minter now leading the charge as a first-time head coach, this offensive coordinator hire becomes more than just filling a position. It's about creating a stable foundation for immediate success and long-term dominance. Let's be honest, this team is too talented to waste time experimenting. Lamar Jackson is coming off another MVP-level season. Zay Flowers is emerging as one of the league's most electric young playmakers. And let's not forget about the return of a healthy Mark Andrews. The core is in place. The potential is sky high. But the wrong hire at OC could stall everything. And it's not just about scheme or fit, it's about the locker room. These players want a leader who commands respect, communicates clearly, and installs a system that puts them in a position